We're moving on to markets now, and lots to talk about this week. As you make your planting decisions, are you changing up your crop rotations? Corn is still looking solid, which is good news for many, and demand for meat is sky high. Last week, we got a check on the international markets with Darin Newsom from Darin Newsom Analysis Incorporated. This week, Darin is back in the hot seat to give us the breakdown on what's happening here at home.
As I make the speaking rounds this year, most everyone I talk to, I always ask the question, what are your plans? Some of them don't even answer. But it seems to be that everyone's pretty happy with their rotation. So, last year we were kind of a 50-50 split between corn and soybeans. Are we going to see that huge swing to 4 million acres more corn, 4 million acres less soybeans? No. The markets just aren't there. Is soybeans buying acres away from corn? No. I think we could see some more go into cotton. Cotton certainly acting like it's gotten more supplies, the potential for more supplies on hand. As I said, spring wheat could possibly take a few acres away up in the northern plains, but by and large, I'm not looking for a huge shift this year.
And with the new farm bill, industrial hemp now legal to grow, you see that moving the needle at all over the next few years?
Not in the next few years, but let's get 5-10 years down the road, and I think we are going to see more niche crops coming along. I've been asked, are pulse crops going to have a bigger influence in the North Plains? I certainly think so. I think we're going to see some more. I think we're going to see farmers trying more crops on these on some of this ground to get away from just the standard corn soybean rotation.
Any other tips for planting season for farmers out there?
It's all going to be weather again. It always comes down to what looks to be the most profitable for your situation. And no one can sit and say, well, this is or that is because of some ratio spread. The ratio spread is kind of funny to watch, actually. It doesn't really affect anybody, but a lot of analysts like to talk about it. What the bottom line is what's the most profitable? What looks to be the most profitable? What can you get locked in? Where are the insurance prices as we calculate them over the month of February? Where did those come in? What types of marketing opportunities do those provide? It all comes down to marketing.
And what about winter wheat? How's that looking as opposed to previous years?
Again, we were supposed to see increase in winter wheat acres because of the price. We saw this big run up last summer that provided some opportunities to get some 2019 locked in. But the problem was weather just didn't help out. So now we've got a crop that went in when the ground was really wet. Some of it didn't go in at all. Now we're just facing a normal winter. We went through a warm spell in, say, November through early December, then it turned cold again. I think it's just a normal looking crop right now. We won't know until it actually comes out of dormancy here, probably another 45 days or so.
And looking like corn's just still pretty solid?
Yeah, corn just doesn't really want to go anywhere. As I talked about in this morning's comments, both old crop and new crop are locked in 20-cent trading ranges with really no reason to break out of these at this point. If they do, then you just flip those ranges and it sets you some different targets. Seasonally, we do tend to see corn move up here in the spring, so I think there is that opportunity. And if we continue to see solid demand underneath the cash corn market, that should provide some support as well.
And switching gears to cattle and the meat market, meat supply is high, demand is high. Why do you think things have been so strong in cattle?
Yeah, I tell you, cattle pull the wheat here. And from a technical point of view or a chart-based point of view, looking at the Feb and April live cattle contracts, they kind of pull the wheat, which likes to give head fakes. You set a high and then you set a, let's say you do a bearish pattern on your chart, and then you come right back and go to a new high. That's exactly what the cattle market did. We just have very strong demand right now. We had some concern over these winter storms that were going to be moving through the plains, and that always gives you a little bit of a weather market effect in the cattle market. So we saw some buying tied to that. Can we hold at this level? Back before they went away, cattle on feed reports continued to show increases, year-to-year increases and so on. So we had plenty of cattle on feed. We seem to have plenty of beef in the market, but demand is just very strong right now. It's continuing to hold up the cash market, and as long as the cash market holds, then it looks like live cattle should hold as well.
So you think we'll plateau this year finally? What do you think?
I think we're going to plateau here for the winter.
Okay.
And You know, could we pull back a little bit during the spring and then get ready for the big grilling season? I could see that happening. To me, from a technical point of view, it looks like cattle have kind of, live cattle have kind of run their course. Feeder cattle have been pulling down a little bit. That usually doesn't last too long. Those markets moving in different directions. Could mean that feeder cattle are getting ready to turn up seasonally. They tend to post a low in early Feb and then start moving higher. So if that happens, I don't look for a big break in live cattle. If feeders continue to go down, we continue to see selling in the feeder cattle, that might finally be enough to add at least one layer of selling or a little bit of pressure into the live cattle market.
And what about hogs? Still holding pretty steady there too?
Hogs, with all of the news out of China and everything else, everyone's saying, why aren't the hogs doing better? Hogs are just being hogs. I think you're going to continue to see very wild swings in the hog market. Is it actually going, it's going to go somewhere, but is it actually going to change course much? I don't think so. I think over the balance of the winter, we continue to see these wild swings, usually staying down towards the lower end of what we've established here over the last number of months.